Laos is the most bombed country in the history of the world. From 1966 to 1973, the United States, although it never declared war on this tiny nation, dropped loads of bombs on these mountainous limestone outcroppings and dense jungle valleys. One bomb every 8 minutes, 24 hours a day, for 7 straight years. Big bombs, hundreds of pounds. Small, deadly cluster bombs, millions of tons of death. 40 years later, those bombs are still exploding. They're the legacy of a secret war that even today cripples a nation and its people. In the next half hour, we'll show you how we help unlock those secrets and unearth their still deadly power. This is On War, and I'm Josh Rsuhing. It's an odd job. Every afternoon, the driver of this pickup truck makes his way down the steep and curving highway from the border with Vietnam. He stops every few meters or so as men and women, young boys and girls, rush out of the jungle along the road hauling bulky burlap bags. He weighs them, writes down the amount, and empties the contents into the truck bed. Leftover chunks of bomb, scrap metal, finding it, digging it up, selling it, hauling it to market, is the way these people get by. They don't earn much, 2,000 Lao kip. That's about 25 cents American for every kilo. Look at that. He found that's the shell of a cluster bomb. Look what some of the other boys found. Oh, that's the nose of a bomb. It's heavy too. And this is probably part of a fuse. Man, you can see how this is unsafe. And this is a shape charge from inside a bomb. That's just today's catch. And they're willing to take enormous risks in the process. We hear a big bang just down the road. When we arrive, these two scavengers haul out a couple of 500-pound bomb casings. It's just like catching a big fish. One of these will earn them 200,000 to 300,000 kip, which is more than a week's salary here. They're in a hurry to leave. Then, we see why. They've blown down a transformer on the main power line between Vietnam and Laos. The bang we heard was their attempt to burn off the live payload in one of those bombs. Scrap metal dealers won't buy ordnance that could still explode, and the scavengers are forced to leave behind a big chunk that is literally too hot to handle. There's that much metal still in his leg. Sometimes, they're not lucky enough to leave it behind. Can you tell me how this happened? What happened?
We were using the metal detector. It hit the bomb and we ducked. We just hit it and it exploded.
A cluster bomb blew up at the feet of these two brothers, 15-year-old Sompong and 13-year-old Somsai Kamali. They were collecting metal for their family to sell. What did you do afterward? After it exploded? Did you run for help? Did you go to the doctor? Can you describe after?
After it exploded, I said to my brother, "You stay here. I'll run and tell our parents."
So you ran to tell the parents? Where did this happen?
It was the other side of the river, close to the mountain.
Now the shrapnel is embedded in their legs, crippling them. Their parents can see it in the x-ray, but can't afford the surgery to have it removed. What hurt worse, the arm or the leg?
My leg hurts worse.
Because it went all the way into the bone, huh? You can see it on that side. Oh, wow. That's from over there. Yeah, wow. So it went all the way through. You might say the chain of events that led to that X-ray can be seen in this memo from Al Haig, the Assistant for National Security Affairs, to the American Secretary of State, Henry Kissinger, back in 1969. Kissinger and President Richard Nixon want more bombing. Kissinger may have even ordered it directly. Defense Secretary Melvin Laird protests that additional B-52 strikes will not be militarily effective. But the villages nestled under this jungle canopy were hit again and again. Experts estimate that around 30% of those bombs didn't explode until now. We found that memo and hundreds of others like it here at the U.S. National Archives. We searched recently declassified records, including bomb damage assessment photos. You can see those fires are now all covered up by plumes of smoke. And for the first time ever, we found new records that might help rid the Lao countryside of bombs. B-52 effort alone counts for more than 100,000 tons of ordnance dropped this year in Laos. Samnuk?
Samnuk.
Hi, Josh Rsuhing.
Josh.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
Good. We took our exclusive research to the agency that coordinates that kind of information in Laos. This is material which the U.S. Air Force had promised, but never turned over. In this document, in this one area, every day, 400 bombing runs.
We do need this information in additionally to what was given by U.S. Air Force previously.
And look at this. It's a Google Earth satellite picture of Laos with the known bomb drops overlaid. Different kinds of bombs are shown in different colors, and when you tilt it on its side, the columns show you how many bombs were dropped in a single spot. And believe it or not, the map shows only about 20% of the total. How do these actually help the people trying to find the bombs?
If people want to develop their land and they don't know where the bombs are, you can have accidents.
A nonprofit organization, MagLao, has been clearing unexploded ordnance in Laos for 15 years. MagLao uses the information on where the bombs landed to help villagers who are still being victimized by the war in Vietnam. Mag helps them work their way out of poverty and escape the subculture of scrap metal scavenging. They field teams all over the country. This Mag team has been invited to Thong Som, a remote village in the central province of Cam Ranh. Just getting there is a struggle. Swollen rivers, non-existent bridges, steep, mud-slick, deeply rutted roads. Even four-wheel drive vehicles slip and slide. The villagers want to build a dam on a creek near the top of the mountain and pipe water down this trail. But it might be pocked with unexploded ordnance, otherwise known as UXOs, to say nothing of leeches. So what do? You just like, if you get a leech, pop it off?
Yeah, just pop it off.
The MAG search team performs a precise and perilous drill, roping off lanes, scanning the earth with metal detectors, listening for the telltale ping, marking the safe areas with white stumps. One thing you might notice, all the members of this team are female. MAG finds that having women clearing ordnance is not only making the countryside safer, it's challenging cultural attitudes as well. Nang is the assistant team leader. She's eager to let me know that women have steadier hands and better communications with locals.
At the end of the workday, they report the statistics for that day. The men's team and the female teams, they are quite the same results and the same focus.
Do you think there's an important message for the villages that see an all-female team come out and do such important and dangerous work?
The villagers, they feel that all women teams are really strong. We can do equal with the men.
Don't think they leave the easy job to the female team. We hiked up an hour over rough terrain to get to this source of water. So now construction on the dam and the village water supply can begin. MAG knows it can never clear all the unexploded bombs in the country, So it concentrates on places where the threat keeps people from making a living, and it gets villagers involved. I was really surprised that even now, 40 years later, so many bombs could still be so close to homes and small children. Udom, the leader of another search team, takes us into a forested area, just a few meters from a major highway. I see bomb markers scattered all around. When you find one of these, do you expect to find a bunch? Is that how it works? Like they came down in clusters?
If you see one, you will see a lot of them, because one cluster bomb contains more than 700 small bombs. These bombs spread out in a large vicinity, as we found many of them in this area.
Are these particularly dangerous because it's so hard to spot that? It looks just like the rock right next to it, and you wouldn't, if you're a child, you wouldn't know, or you just wouldn't see it.
The color and the shape of the small bombs are different, but the one that looks like this is very dangerous. If something hits it, it would explode right away.
How deadly is this type of bomb? I mean, it seems very small. Would it just injure you, or would this actually kill someone?
Even the very small one, if it explodes, it would kill people, cattle, or any other animals. It's the most dangerous one.
Marking the location of bombs is the first step. After that, they have to be blown up in place. That delicate and dangerous operation when we come back.